Good morning, my garden friends, and welcome to another Sunday morning backyard garden tour. The backyard garden tour that almost didn't happen, and I will explain. In today's video, I want to talk to you about garden burnout. It is so real, and I'm going through it right now, which is why I almost canceled today's garden tour, but we'll get to that later. I'm also going to walk you around my garden, show you what's going on and what's not going on this time of year. And also I'm going to take you to the front of my house and show you my driveway garden. My vegetables are thriving there. My sweet potato vine keeps creeping and creeping and creeping, and I absolutely love it. This is the best year for sweet potato vines. Look at that, my friends. I really think it's growing 2 feet a week, and now it's starting to send out more shoots. And inside the center, I also have a citrus blend lantana, which attracts Gulf fritillary butterflies. And my beautiful Proven Winners Super Tunia Vista bubblegum. Look at how beautiful it is after a huge haircut. Never be scared to trim your petunias. They will bounce back. And look at my beautiful bougainvillea is flushing out with beautiful blooms again. Now we all know that the bougainvillea, the purple flowers, those aren't flowers, those are actually called bracts. The flowers are the little tiny white colored centers inside the bracts. All the sunflowers you see in my garden came back as volunteers, which means I didn't plant them. Every year when they dry up, the seeds drop and they come back each year. But if you look at over here, I have a beautiful display of Tithonia, which is Mexican sunflowers. They look like sunflowers, but they're orange and they're smaller. Actually, they kind of look like zinnias or daisies too, but I absolutely love them. And once again, I did not plant any of these. These just come up on their own and surprise me every year. And let's not forget my beautiful zinnias. These I did plant from seed. I started them in little containers, and then when they got to be about 5 inches, I planted them in my garden. Now, a lot of you say, how do I keep my zinnias from falling down? Well, here's a really, really good tip. If you plant sunflowers next to your zinnias, these sunflowers get so thick, they're like garden stakes. And what you can do is just attach the zinnias with some little garden tape to the sunflowers. So I suggest next time, I know it's probably too late this year. Well, I don't know, depending on what garden zone you're in. Maybe it's not too late. But if you're planting zinnias now, grow sunflowers right next to them, and then the sunflowers will help hold your zinnias up. And look at my beautiful hollyhock, which is blooming again for the 2nd time this year. I thought hollyhocks only bloom in the springtime. I was wrong. Here's a little backside view. I have a Silver Falls dichondra. See that little house for the mason bees? They don't even go in there. They would just rather go in the ground. Look at my beautiful zinnias, all grown from seed. And the Mexican sunflower uses that cattle panel arbor as support. And over in the center veggie box, I have another Proven Winners Super Tunia Vista bubblegum that bounced back from a severe haircut with some blue salvia behind it. And look at my friends, my gilded sun rose is blooming again. And look at those beautiful sunflowers, wild sunflowers I call them, because they came up on their own. And there's Cookie. I didn't see Cookie sitting there. This is one of her favorite spots. And I named her Cookie because it looks like she has cookies on her fur. And she's sitting right in front of the marigolds. Adding little water features in my garden increased the wildlife back here. This is just a cheap little bird bath with some rocks in there so the birds don't drown. I know that sounds silly, but I think birds like a shallow bird bath and not anything deep. And I often see the bees and butterflies getting a drink of water here as well. And there's my Gara, which I haven't been too thrilled with this year. It didn't bloom as much as it did last year, but that's okay because I love the color of the foliage. It's such a beautiful dark green, and then it has these red tips. So nevertheless, I still think it's beautiful. You know, we all have our special time that we bloom and when we don't bloom. That's what makes nature so beautiful. It's always changing, and our gardens are always evolving. And if it was the same every year, then life would get boring, right? And straight ahead is my cactus corner with a beautiful pink cordyline in the center. And my dwarf Miss Figgy fig tree. Yes, that's a dwarf. I call this my center iron plant stand, and my wave petunias are looking absolutely lovely, although I think I might be trimming those soon. And the Supertunia Vista bubblegum are looking beautiful in this vintage bathtub with 2 jazzberries, one on each side. And again, I gave this a hard, severe prune. I pretty much pruned it all the way down to the nubs. And it's looking beautiful again. It almost looks like spring. And that's Freya the Farmer, my scarecrow garden with Petunia the pig and Lottie the lamb. I'm still deciding what I'm going to grow on that arbor. And over here is my little cottage garden with some marigolds in those stacked pots, and my beautiful Zuni crepe myrtle tree is in its prime. But look at my friends, my bridge garden area is coming along nicely, and I have a question for you. Okay, my friends, this is my new bridge garden area, and in my opinion, it's coming along nicely and looking exactly the way I wanted it to. What I did is I put the larger river rock on the outside edges, then I put a smaller pond pebbles going into the center, but in the center, I'm either going to put very small pea gravel or, and this is where I need your opinion, should I get that blue landscape rock that actually is bright and colorful and it looks like water? Or do you think that's kind of like cheesy, or I'm not quite sure. So the choices are either I'm going to put a smaller pea gravel, maybe like a blue or a gray, just to give it the illusion that it looks like water. Or what do you think about the blue river rock? Now it would just go right in the center, about that wide, like maybe 9 inches wide, 9 inches to a foot, just to give it the illusion that it looks like water. I would love to know what you think before I actually finish and complete this. Now, just as promised, I'm going to take you to the front of my house and show you my driveway garden. We're going to walk through my narrow space vegetable garden first to get out in front. This is only 3 feet, 4 inches wide. Just proof that even if you have a small or narrow space, you can still grow things if you grow vertically. I call this area my driveway garden for obvious reasons. Because it's in my driveway. It's made up of 3 raised vegetable boxes, This is an elevated box that I got from Vigo Garden, and I'm growing strawberries in here, and look at them. They're all trailing down. I know I'm supposed to cut these, but I think it's just so beautiful, so I kind of wanted to leave them alone. And over here I'm growing okra. A purple hyacinth bean vine is starting to climb up the arbor, a moonflower, and also a sweet potato. And over here, this is my pride possession. These are my cucumbers I planted from seed. So this is just a little way I can grow more food and utilize all the spaces in my garden. But I'm actually thinking about putting more raised vegetable boxes right here on my front lawn. I know I've been talking about putting raised beds here for a couple of years now, and that's because I just get tired of wasting water on grass, especially my grass, because it's not really grass at all. It's just a combination of weeds, Bermuda grass, and who knows what. So my plan is to put maybe 1, 2, 3 raised beds, and since this area gets full sun, I could grow zucchini and squash because those plants get so big, and I haven't been able to grow any this year because, well, I just don't have a lot of space, but I have a lot of space right here, so it's kind of what I'm thinking. And since I would already be out here watering those boxes, why not just make more right here and tie it all in? So this will be my driveway garden extended to the front lawn. Now, in the beginning of my video intro, I mentioned garden burnout and how I wasn't even gonna make this video. That's the honest to goodness truth. So garden burnout is real. What happens is, before spring, we're super excited about our gardens and we're anticipating everything we're gonna plant. But when summer hits, I mean, for me personally, I'm watering sometimes twice a day. I'm just trying to keep things alive. And then there's other plants in my garden that aren't making it. And this time of year, as we approach fall, I get tired. I just get kind of burnt out, and now I'm kind of praying for fall. I'm praying for the colder weather. Is that crazy or what? Because in the wintertime, I'm saying, please, I want spring so bad. I want the sun. Now that we're in it, now I'm praying for the rain and cold weather again. So if you are just feeling like you're tired of your garden, you're ignoring your garden, you go out there and you look and everything looks like it's dying and you're ready to give up, don't feel bad. You're not alone, because that's where I am right now. I'm just ready to call it quits and give up. So here are some things we can do to help us with garden burnout, and maybe I should take my own advice. Tip number 1, do your watering, if you're hand watering like a crazy nut like me, do it at night or very early in the morning. Don't go out during the day. Don't go out and look and feel hot and look at everything looking like a disaster. So go out in the cool of the evening or early in the morning. Tip number 2, if you see plants that are dying, rip them out, just pull them out. Who cares? There's nothing worse than going out into your garden on a hot summer day and looking at dead plants. So get rid of them, rip them out, and you'll feel so much better when you go out into your garden. Okay, tip number 3, and I think this is the best tip that kind of makes me feel better and gives me hope. Fall is right around the corner. So this is the perfect time to be thinking about your cool season vegetables and your fall planting. This summer heat and the way our gardens look right now isn't going to last forever. It's almost over. So let's start thinking about our fall gardens. And while you're inside the house, being discouraged about the heat, that's the perfect time to plant your fall seeds. A lot of people don't realize this, but certain things prefer the cooler weather, like broccoli and lettuce and spinach. So the garden season isn't over yet. Your garden may not be looking as beautiful as you hope it can, but that's okay, because fall is almost here and this is the perfect time to plant things for the cooler weather. So hang in there. It's not going to last forever. Be encouraged to know that you're not in this alone. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a beautiful day in your garden too. Bye.